Welcome to Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant Punk.
How is everybody this evening?
Flipping fantastic. Thank
Fantastic.
Jinx.
Everybody looks great today.
Thanks.
This is nice.
Thank you.
I shaved.
Ooh.
Tell us
you.
more.
Classy lady.
Then what happened?
Then,
Anyway.
Just from my chin to my chest.
all right, so I got something on my mind for you guys, and especially coming from different industries. You guys are at bars. We are at restaurants. Somebody asked me this, and I didn't know how to answer them right away. You guys have regulars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's how we survive.
Yeah. What makes somebody a regular at your bar or at your restaurant? Like, what does it take for them to be a regular? Like, what makes them a regular at your place? Like, we have the people that show up every day sometimes, and sometimes I don't consider them regulars, or they leave after the summer's over, or they go away somewhere.
True.
What makes them a regular? What makes them somebody that you want to sit down with, have a drink with, chit chat with?
That's the difference.
Well, based on that,
That's the
I'm going to
difference.
say no one. Okay.
I like the chit chat. It's just a little bit more than how's the weather.
Well, sometimes you have regulars that come in and, you give the nods, you give the highs, and then you have other regulars that come in, you sit down, you have a coffee with. Some people know you more personally. Some people, I feel like there's different levels of regulars that come into places. And there are regulars that, I think we could be honest, that we don't like. And there are regulars that we love and we invite to barbecues or Sunday night football or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I can't really do that.
I don't know. How does that work? Especially when you're in a club and you can't really interact with those people. I'm sure you see a lot of people over and over again sometimes too. Like, do you account for that? Like, are they regulars?
It's crazy because I have
Right?
like a whole camera reel running through my head of different people. And like you said, there's so many layers. And for us, because we work in a resort type destination, regular might not be every week, but it might be every 6 weeks because that's when they get their offers to come back and visit. And you have regulars that you just love and you exchange phone numbers, you text Merry Christmas, and they might bring you a gift or you might give them a gift on their birthday. And then you have regulars that you're like, oh God, he's back. Oh, sorry. But he's here again. Oh God, why? There's
Casamigos and a cigarette.
and their names. You might not even know their names, but you know their drink. Oh, there's Sugar-Free Rebel guy. Or there's,
Well, I'd like to throw out a quick example. There was this customer that would come in for years. And he's one of the customers I would sit down, have a coffee with, knew the family, knew all their faces. I could not remember his name for the life of me. And then one day they came in and our friend Nikos was serving the table. And every time I see a table, I'm always like, excuse me, guys, I'm horrible with names. But not to somebody that I've seen for 6 years. Nico's like, you're not that bad. What's his name? Right in front of the whole table.
Wow.
And I froze. And I'm like, and then he said his name. And then he felt bad. I felt bad. I walked away. But you can't remember everybody's name, right?
No.
Yeah, but in the nightclub, I was like, we'll remember your drink. I'll remember your drink before I remember your name. And
Yes.
I actually had one nightclub I used to work at. And apparently I had this couple that only came to me, but I didn't remember. I'm pretty good at remembering, especially what you drink. So fast forward years later, now I'm in a different club and they had not come in a few years, and they came in and they're like, hey, and I'm like, what's up? Didn't recognize them. And then they said to the other bartender, yeah, she waited on us all the time at the other club. Like, I just feel like she doesn't remember me. And I'm not the type of person to bullshit.
Yeah.
So I walked up to them. I'm like, yeah, I don't. I'm trying really hard. And I felt really bad. I felt bad, but I didn't want to lie. But
It's tough. You see thousands
So
and
many people.
thousands of people. But like you said, I remember people's orders before I remember their names. Like,
I know where they sat. I know what they had.
He's the cheese omelet, white toast, dry. He's the pork ribeye, no potatoes, extra vegetables. I remember the car they drive away in. He could say his name is Bob. I'll forget Bob.
right.
But I'll remember everything else,
Yes.
even his job.
I'll remember the last name, because of their tab.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, there's Patel and his wife, or there's I'm not going to call out everybody,
Yeah.
but I got people, and I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I'll know the one's wife or I'll know the one's husband, but I won't remember
Yeah.
their names. But Doesn't mean that we don't love them.
Yeah.
Like I still really like, there's people when I see them and I light up, it's genuine. And then there's people that when they show up, I'm like, oh, hey babe, what's up? You know, they're just.
I can tell you even from the restaurants, and I love our regulars. They have kept us alive in the winter.
Mhm.
They're great people.
Wouldn't survive without them.
You can't survive without them, but you build this relationship with the regulars that's beyond your business over the years. And it's such a good feeling. I don't know how to describe it, but
I love that we can create an environment where they feel so safe and like family and friends.
I have their cell phone numbers. I could text them when we do events and whatnot, or even Merry
I had a
Christmas
regular text
randomly.
me this morning. How's Noah?
Yeah, it's a nice thing. But somebody asked me, it's like, oh man, how did they get your number? How'd they text you for a reservation? Like, how do I become a regular in your spot? And I don't know how to answer these people. Like, it's
the answer is, oh yeah, just give me your number. I'll text you, and then you just let it happen.
Yeah,
but
I can't. I mean, it's not being a great tipper in the restaurant.
No,
it's not showing
no.
up once a week or once a month or 6 months at whatever it may be. I think it's a culmination of everything.
I think.
go ahead, Liz.
I think one thing that should be that I would feel like a regular that I would want to have come at you don't have to be the best tipper, but just be courteous.
Yeah.
That's it. Every
Fair
time.
enough. Yeah.
That's for me. That's a big deal to me.
Because I have people
Definitely.
like that. They come in, they tip really great, but they're so obnoxious that you're almost like, I don't care about your $20. I don't care about your $40. I could have made that if you weren't in my face being annoying right now for the past 5 minutes. I could have served 5-6 people and gotten $5 a piece and been done with your $20. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it doesn't buy me. You know, and
Thank you.
genuine personalities and chemistry is what happens. And, you know, if you genuinely like people, which I feel like I do, I'm never a person that says, oh, I hate people. Because I do like meeting people. I like hearing stories. I like knowing where people come from. And like, for example, during COVID, a lot of us weren't making any money. And there were customers that reached out like, how are you? We're thinking about you. Do you need anything? And have sent people I work with money just because they care about them for real. Those are real,
That's awesome.
real regulars. And, you know, it's almost makes you emotional thinking that people care about you so much. And I feel like that's what makes a regular. Somebody that you get close with, you like, you care about, you want to give them a good time. And they come back.
Well, also, I think it's important so if someone comes in and I enjoyed waiting on them and they come in a second time, although they're not really a regular, but the fact that you came in again, I acknowledge them and I let them know that I remember them. So I want you to be my regular.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And
the best compliment.
I enjoyed waiting on you. But this is what happened to me the other day. Okay. So
There we go.
I had a private event and there was this couple, this man and the woman came to the bar and I'm like, what's up? I'm like, did you remember me at the other bar I worked at? And they're like, no. I'm like, really? Because I remember you. Like, aren't you a realtor? I'm like, yeah, your name's whatever and your name's whatever. And, you know, talking about how they're a couple. And they're looking at me like, no. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Okay, kept going. And then they're like, we're not even a couple. I'm like, okay, never mind.
Sorry, wrong guy.
It wasn't you. You're not a couple. That's not your job. You're not a realtor. I'm like, okay, I'll just go away.
Well, now they want to be your friend.
Now they want to be
Now
your
they want to
friend.
be your friend. Ugh. It's like calling a girl by this different name in this.
Right.
Who's Susan?
Or the regular comes in with a different girl and you're like, oh my God, good to see you guys again.
Yeah.
She's like, I've never been here.
Well, I was just grateful they weren't a couple. Because what if they were a couple and I said, oh, I saw you here with that other person? Like,
Oh,
I was just grateful.
Bringing
That's
up
it. That's
family,
it.
Carla.
There you go.
You just-
you gotta be careful sometimes.
Trifling.
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 I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Right.
But I think we can agree that, I mean, it is a culmination of everything. And we do have regulars. I mean, there are people that come in quite often. Doesn't make them a regular. I feel like it's
Really?
a lot of,
I think
if you
that
come back
counts.
and come back.
Because I go into places not often, but when I do, like there's like a joint that I want to go like on a lunch and just read my book and no one talk to me. I'm a regular, but I don't want special treatment. I want anyone talking to me, but I would still consider that person regular.
what gets a regular perks with you?
I don't know. Leah said something interesting too. Like you feel like you didn't buy my time.
Yeah.
You didn't buy me. So I'm wondering if that has anything.
Well, I don't know. Do you have to buy? I mean, there's
Like just
I
because
think
they
you
come
have to
into the
peel back
restaurant
onion different
and
layers,
and
but-
order something.
Well, what perk are you talking about? Like free shit?
Well, there's different perks.
don't
There's
Liz on free shit.
But I
never
don't give away free shit.
Never
but
free.
I try to give good service no matter what. Even if you're tipping $1, no matter what.
Mhm.
I agree with that. And in my mind, if you came back after one time, I want you to be a regular. You are now a regular because you enjoyed something about where we are, what we do, and you came back. So whether I know your name or we're friends or not, I'm going to treat you special, meaning I'm going to go the extra mile to say hello, how you been, what's going on, try to get their drink to them right away, give them a couple minutes of chat, figure out if they want you to do it or not. Like, do they want you to go away like Liz does? Or do they want you to stay and talk because they're alone?
See you there.
Oh, good to see you. Like, if she was my customer, I'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? I put down you want your regular? Oh, yeah. I give her what she normally gets. And then I get away from her.
Yeah.
So I'm not bothering her because I know she just wants to chill.
You know what? I love those answers. I can't even argue with those answers. Those are perfect answers. And
Liz is
you
running
are
a
a regular
saloon.
when you come in on a regular
Throwing the
basis.
drink.
Right. Yeah.
If you're giving
I guess
us
when
money
I'm thinking in
regularly-
my head, I'm thinking regular. I'm thinking perks. Like for me, perks at the restaurant, I'm like, text me, I'll get you in. You know what I mean? And oh, we're out of this tonight. I remember many, many times, I think growing pains with George's Place in the beginning years, we might be out of something. And Yanni would be like, you know
Wintertime.
what? Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Get into his car, leave the restaurant, drive 5 minutes to the fish market, pick up the fish that we were out of, drive back to the restaurant, start cooking that fish, and then give it to them. And now that's not being perks of a regular in Yanni's mind. That's just running a business properly and exceeding guests' expectations. But maybe I went off on a little side.
But you bring
tangent
up a
on
good
that.
point in saying that because, like, I have people that they come regularly, they come frequently, I should say, and they want to do other things in town. And because I've been working in this business so long, I have a lot of connections in other places. So they've been good to me. I'll text somebody. One of my good regulars wants to come to your place. Can you get them? And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. And you share it around town. You spread the love to other restaurants, other bars, whatever. If they're not a good regular, they're like, yo, can you get me into such and such? I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tonight's kind of tight. Maybe I
So
can
if
get
you
one
weren't
of you
aware-
in. You pay for the other one.
Right.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that. But, you want to help out. You want to go the extra
but you're
step.
not going all in.
I already know you're a $10 tip or on a $100 check and you're going to be really annoying to my people. So I don't want to send you to my people, but I'll get you in
So
the
you're
door so the
helping the
business
business,
don't
but
make
you're
money.
looking out for everybody.
I'll help
at
the
same
business, but I'm
time.
not going to send you to my guy.
Yeah.
Like you're
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 on
a
your own.
reflection of me
Yeah.
at this point.
That's
So
true.
no.
Okay.
So
I like that.
Mhm.
I like hearing it from you too, because that's an industry I'm just not familiar with. So I don't know what else to say.
Right.
That explained it all.
Restaurant Punk, we out.
Punk,
Over and
everybody.
out.
Thank you.
Become a regular.
don't be regular.
Don't be regular.
regular.
Or become a regular.